So just what is narcissistic abuse? Narcissistic abuse is a term coined by Sam Vaknin, I believe in 1995, and he's a self-proclaimed narcissist who has coined a lot of words to describe narcissistic abuse, to give people the understanding of what is actually happening, what is actually going on. When it comes to narcissistic abuse, it is a form of emotional manipulation by somebody with high traits of narcissism, with narcissistic tendencies, or with narcissistic personality disorder. Somebody who has a lack of empathy, a sense of entitlement, envious of others, exploitative nature, a belief that they are special, arrogant and haughty behaviour, grandiose, preoccupied with themselves. They don't need all 9, they just need a mixture of 5 to be on the disorder, or 3 just to be a toxic person if they display these behaviours regularly. So someone can potentially be jealous, doesn't necessarily make them a narcissist. We can be jealous and pleased for the other person, but a little bit, oh, I wish I could have that, that's not fair. But you don't go all out to ruin it for another person. A narcissistic individual will. They believe you're privileged and you're the one that's stolen it from them. So when it comes to narcissistic individuals, they follow a pattern of behaviour. And they tend to have a multitude of players within their game. So they have somebody that they will be idolising. Now, this can be a narcissistic parent who's idolising their child, idolising their husband or wife, idolising their new partner, idolising a friend. The narcissist goes through a stage of idolisation where they're going to love bomb somebody. They're going to treat them so well. They're going to shower them with attention. They're going to want to spend a lot of time with you. They're going to idolise you and lift you onto that pedestal. So you want to spend time with them. It feels amazing. And then at some point, when you're not living life on the narcissist terms, they devalue you, they criticise you, they mock you, they compare you off against other people, they play you off against others, they triangulate you. And if they still need you and they feel like you might be walking away from them, they fear abandonment. However, they'll happily reject and abandon you. So they use that intermittent reinforcement, that hoover, so to speak. They suck you back into their games to breadcrumb you, to give you that false hope. They future fake with you to keep you hanging on a little bit longer. And then they usually try to find a replacement to gain the admiration and attention that they believe they're entitled to, and also to punish you. And once they've found that replacement, they discard you. And again, this can be a narcissistic partner discarding a partner. This can be a narcissistic parent discarding a child. And they often play the victim in this and smear the person that they've discarded. The other person was ungrateful. The other person was the liar, the cheater. The other person wasn't there for them. The other person was the crazy one. They go all out to smear the other person's name and completely ruin their reputation so that nobody believes the other person, and the narcissist gains all the sympathetic attention. When they want the person back, they hoover them back in, and the hoover is named after the vacuum cleaner brand Hoover, because they come along to suck you back in, to treat you like dirt, to discard you all over again. And narcissistic individuals with their narcissistic abuse use lots of different tactics, such as gaslighting, where not only will they accuse you of being jealous, they will provoke jealousy within you first, so you feel jealous, and then accuse you of being jealous. They'll betray your trust and then accuse you of the one that's having the trust issue. They provoke you until you react, and then they tell you you're overreacting. They hurt you in some of the most horrific ways and then tell you that you're the one that's too sensitive. They promise you something in the future to offer that intermittent reinforcement, to future fake with you, and then they claim that they never said that. They triangulate, they compare you against others, they play you off against other people, they shift the blame over to you. Nothing is ever their fault. They project all their faults and flaws and mistakes over to you. They fall silent on you. They withhold attention, affection and support from you and blame you for why everything's going wrong. They use a ton of verbal and emotional abuse to emotionally manipulate you. They use things such as fear and obligation and guilt to coercively control you into living life on their terms. They will use things such as sleep deprivation, so you're more easy to provoke and you believe that you're the problem. You are led to believe that you're the one that's going crazy. When you are a victim of narcissistic and emotional abuse, you often experience things such as confusion and self-doubt and self-blame and guilt and remorse and isolation and depression, CPTSD, those feelings of worthlessness, forgetfulness, anxiety, and that's just to name a few. You can suffer from a lot of health issues due to the stress you are under within that relationship with a narcissist. And one of the worst things about a narcissistic relationship, narcissistic and emotional abuse, is the victim often finds themselves downplaying and minimalizing the narcissist's behavior. They find themselves believing that they are the problem. They find themselves feeling crazy. Victims find themselves feeling ashamed and they feel like there's no escape. It makes it very difficult to leave, because when they do sort of figure it out, you kind of feel ashamed that you put up with it for so long. You've still got that doubt of, is it me? Is it my fault? Am I the narcissistic one? And then when you tell your story, you think, well, now I'm sounding narcissistic. It's very difficult for victims to leave these kinds of relationships. The difference being, a victim blames themselves. Narcissistic people blames everybody other than themselves. And when it comes to leaving a narcissistic relationship, one of the first things you have to do is make a decision. And then, as difficult as it is, act on it. And it might be a quick decision. It might be, I'm leaving, and you leave that day and that's it, no more. And as hard as it is, even with the trauma bonding and things like that, done, that's it. It might be a slow decision where you put things in place, where you manage to get your sentimental items out, where you manage to get your passports and your birth certificates out, where you get in touch with shelters, where you get in touch with housing, where you find a exit plan. And it is about finding that exit strategy. Sometimes we do have to just up and leave. Sometimes we have a bit more time to get organised, and it's finding that support, and then it's finding the therapy that is right for you. Just because someone is a therapist doesn't mean they're bad if they're not right for you. However, if it's not right for you, it's not going to work. So it's finding the right therapist or the right therapy. Be it going to therapy, going to counselling, doing exercise, doing mediation, doing yoga, doing meditation, doing yoga, getting into a new routine, finding the things that work for you, and then learning your boundaries. And when it comes to dealing with a narcissist, the best boundaries are emotional, physical and psychological distance. Learn to recognise their behaviour, and as hard as it is, learn to no longer react to their games. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the comments for people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Liz for sure. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot get no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do also have several books out on Amazon: 15 Rules to Deal with Narcissistic People If You Cannot Go No Contact, a Narcissists Handbook, which is the ultimate guide to understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, and 15 Rules to Deal with Narcissistic People If You Cannot Go No Contact, and how to create boundaries around those who have no respect for your boundaries. If you'd like to take a look at those, they'll be in the description also. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.